Good evening. Good evening. I am a virtuoso. It's a pleasure. I am a virtuoso of affectation. I am also the affectation of a virtuoso. In other words, I am always affecting, not effecting, but affecting, putting on affects. I'm a virtuoso of putting on affects, but my primary affectation is the affectation of being a virtuoso. And you can see the truth of my words just as I speak them. I am proof of concept, and indeed, the concept of proof. I get lost sometimes in my own sophistry, the whirligig of words. But that's okay. You don't pretend to be anything other than what I am. Do you? The affectation of an alternate identity? Is that you? Are you true? I'm being honest. I am a virtuoso of affectation, and the affectation of a virtuoso. Why? Fair question. Very fair question. Why am I this way? I came from a rough neighborhood. A rough time. I've had to survive. Affectation was my technique, my skill set. It's how I survived, lived. Do I have regrets? Being fake? You think I should? Should I regret being fake? After all, ultimately, that's what all this affectation is all about, being fake. Do you regret it when you're fake? I'm real about it. Very real. I don't pretend that I'm not fake. I'm not fake about being fake. I'm very authentically fake. We're all just trying to get by, you know. So your philosophy is that you need to be real, authentic. That's how you get by. That's how you survive. Maybe that's even how you thrive. Me? That's a little too stuffy. stuffy. When I was a child, yes, I'm going now. When I was a child, I was thrown into the doghouse. I was in the doghouse. It's because I was being real. I was telling my dad what I truly felt about him. He didn't like that. Son, we need to get into the doghouse. You're just a tyrant, you know. Doghouse, son. Out there. You can kick Rufus out, and you can spend the evening in the doghouse. You're just an asshole. Dad, or should I just call you tyrant? Do you want to eat dog food while you're out there? Keep it up, son. I can just give you Rufus's rations. Oh, is that how you are? You'll take away from the dog just to prove your point, asshole. Yeah. I spoke that way to my dad when I was 14. No wonder I got thrown in the doghouse. I was barking at the moon by midnight. Because I was affecting lunacy. Luna, the moon. I secretly wanted my dad's affection, but instead I gave him affectation. Son, welcome back from the doghouse. How was your trip? I still can't believe you do that. It's an idiom. You're in the doghouse. But it's a great idiom, son. And I like to teach by use of idioms. We are somewhat of a literary family, as you know. We like to sloganeer. And I'll tell you, you've become a better man as a result of spending the night in the doghouse and howling at the moon. How did you know that I was howling at the moon, Dad? How did everyone in the neighborhood know that you were howling at the moon, son? You were possessed. It's called lunacy for a reason. Son, I'm secretly very proud of you. I'm proud of your rebellious spirit. But I can't really let you know that. I've got to temper you like a blade. You need to suffer, and suffer well. I know you don't know why, but trust your father. Suffer. Suffer well. I don't believe in suffering, Dad. You know that, right? I don't care about your little philosophies about suffering. I take the Buddhist approach. Gotta get rid of suffering. See that it's an illusion. It's all attachment, impermanence. You gotta see through that stuff, Dad. You are a virtuoso, aren't you, son? Do you want to spend more time in the doghouse? No, am I going to spend time in the doghouse just because I'm outwitting you and philosophically more sophisticated? Oh, no. No, my little virtuoso. You're going to spend more time in the doghouse because you're talking back to your father. I love you, son. But my responsibility is to make sure that you grow up with integrity. It's not to make sure that you like me. I don't care if you like me. I care if you become a great man. That's why I'm here, to make sure that you fulfill your potential. And if you don't, it's back to the doghouse with you, son. Really, Dad? You don't want to sharpen your philosophical blade against mine? No, son. That would simply just enable your sophistry. Oh, now I'm a sophist, Dad? Oh, yes, you are. Ever since you got a hold of my philosophy books, you've been a sophist ever since. So that's what you think I'm doing. I'm just spinning these webs of equivocation. I like it, son. I like what you do with your mind, but you're not applying it correctly. And that just means more doghouse in your future. Webs of equivocation. Perfect locution. But you're actually using that as a sophist would. You're a virtuoso, but it's all affectation, son. You are a virtuoso of affectation, and the affectation of a virtuoso. Oh my God, Dad, really? Did you know your dad could talk like that? Of course I knew that. It's how I learned to talk like that, Pops. Son? Tone it down. Okay? The older you get, the more frequently you're outside in the backyard, howling at the moon, chewing on a bone. I will continue to throw you in the doghouse if it means you're going to become a better man. Well, what does Mom think about it? Does she like the fact that you punish me by doing that? I think so. I think she gets a kick out of it, son. Well, have they ever talked to her about it? Oh, yeah. She was a little nervous and anxious about it at first, but she understands what I'm up to. What are you up to, Dad? I've already told you, I don't need to repeat myself. It's the same thing I did to your mother. Oh, she was a hellion. Caught up with all this feminist indoctrination. Of course, I didn't see it at first. I was blind. I take full responsibility for being an ignoramus. But that feminist conditioning got the worst of her, and I had to throw her in the doghouse. Essentially, everybody in the family goes to the doghouse at one point or another. Oh, really, Dad? What about you? You go to the doghouse? Of course I do, son. I put myself in the doghouse. That's why I have no compunction about throwing you in. What were you in the doghouse for? Well, the truth of the matter is I was in the doghouse for throwing your mom in the doghouse. I was getting overreactive, and, well, I think the way you put it is accurate. Tyrannical. Was being a tyrant about her feminist ideology, and so I went overboard and, well, became oppressive. And once I realized I was throwing your mom in the doghouse too much, I grabbed her by the scruff of the neck and threw her back in the kitchen and went into the doghouse myself. Oh gosh. You guys are such a mess. Son, do not disrespect your parents. Okay? Alright? I'll build another doghouse around the doghouse, so that when you're out of the little doghouse, you're still in the big one. That's how much I care about your character. Doghouses create character, son. Ow! Oh, God, man. Where is Mom, by the way? Oh, she's out in the yard. Okay. I'm just curious about something. You really obsessing about my character? Of course, son. Character is destiny. Oh, God. Really? Yes. Yeah. Was it that philosopher who said that? I do believe so. Heraclitus of Ephesus. Is it Ephesus, Dad? Ephesus. I think it's Ephesus, Dad. Yeah. Character is destiny. Can't step in the same river twice, that kind of stuff. And Antiodromia. Whoa, Dad. Dropping the ancient Greek on your son. Well, you gotta get out of Doghouse free card for that one. Very funny. You actually think you're gonna throw me in the doghouse, son? Well, at some point, it only stands to reason that I will be taking over here and running things. I'm 14 now, Dad. Precocious virtuoso, yes, and if I do say so. At some point, however, I will be taking over. And you will be spending time in the doghouse, either the small one or the big one, depending on whether you build the big one. And why will I be in the doghouse? You will be in the doghouse because you will commit the fatal flaw, Dad, of aggressively pursuing comfort as you age. That is aging, and I'm gonna bust your ass for it, Pops. Aggressively pursuing comfort? Yes. Absolutely, and I could see it in your eyes. You're aggressively pursuing comfort, and sometimes, Pops, sometimes, I wonder if you throw me out in the doghouse just because you want some quiet time with Mom, and you're sick of my ranting and raving and my virtuosic displays of brilliance. It's possible. But you do have a 65-inch TV out there, don't you? In the little doghouse? That doghouse is not 65 inches long. You're right. It isn't. So you don't have a TV out there, do you, son? Dad? No, I don't. Oh, hey, Mom. Hello, son. Yeah, Dad and I were just talking about the doghouse. Oh, yes. Fond memories. I grew a lot. I grew so much. Being in the doghouse for days at a time, ranting at your father, thinking that he was oppressing me, when in reality I was oppressing myself with the idea that he was the oppressor. I had so much bullshit in my mind, son. I don't even know how your father could possibly tolerate it, but he put me in the doghouse and I reformed my ways. Mom, that's just crazy. It's just weird, because I'm trying to imagine you as this raving, hellbent feminist, and then the doghouse just kind of purified you. That's the way to say it? That's what a doghouse does. Just dog food and water and cold nights under the moon. I don't get it. I was out there howling too when I was in the doghouse, and now you're just talking about it and you're howling. What is the howling about? Well, the howling is about getting in touch with our savagery, or our primal instincts, the real, the raw, And son, we are just generally speaking so caught up in our heads that once we go into the doghouse, we resist it. But the longer we stay, the more we start to feel the moon calling our savage nature, activating that kind of werewolf inside of us. Werewolf? Well, yes. The werewolf inside of each of us. Why are you talking about werewolves, Mom? Has your father not talked to you about this? Dad? Talk to me about what? Sweetheart, you're not going to talk to me about this conversation before we have it with him? I'm sorry. Do I need to go out into the doghouse and howl at the moon to get penance? Mister, I am so sorry. Yeah, that's the werewolf conversation. The werewolf conversation. What in the hell are you two talking about? You're a werewolf, son. I'm a what? We're werewolves. Say it fast. We are werewolves. What? Dad, werewolves are like myth. Mom, this is the... What are you guys doing? Are you playing a joke? Is this what this is? You're just playing a joke and now I gotta go out into the fucking doghouse? The werewolf house? Well, actually, the werewolf house is really the way to say it, son, yeah? Guys, come on. What is this? What is this? Is this my coming of age, coming out party joke? What? Is this a rite of passage for me? Is that what this is? Son, we were going to tell you on your 16th birthday. I was going to tell you on the 16th birthday. I actually didn't even communicate that with your mom, which is why she thought that I had already said it to you. Things got a little wonky because, quite frankly, son, you are more precocious than we anticipated, so this conversation has been bumped up a couple of years. I'm not a werewolf. Well, I'm a werewolf and your mom's a werewolf, so it just stands to reason that you're a werewolf. Have you checked your DNA? No, I haven't checked my DNA. Why would I check my DNA? You notice anything different about yourself? When I'm out there in the doghouse, I do tend to howl. That's about it. Well, son, you have a preternatural ability to absorb information, to regurgitate it, to form elaborate constructs of meaning. Where do you think that comes from? Not from being a werewolf. There's a supernatural element to your psyche, which means that you have, just a precocious capacity. You're not like humans. Guys, are you playing a joke on me? Because you're actually sitting here talking to me like you're telling me the truth. Why do you think we have such a big doghouse in the back? I mean, I thought maybe there was even a TV in there. I did wonder because it's actually bigger, much bigger than the dog. I mean, Rufus, there's like 5 Rufuses that could be under that roof. Exactly. But that doesn't mean that we're werewolves. Well, I had to purge your mother's feminist programming, because imagine being a feminist and a werewolf at the same time. Horrifying. She was a mess and a nightmare to be with. And as for myself, I was a tyrant and a werewolf. So I need to deprogram. And what am I? What am I? If you guys are so horrible, and you guys had to deprogram out there in the frickin'... Why didn't you deprogram your werewolfness instead of just deprogramming being a tyrant or a feminist? Can't deprogram being a werewolf, son. That genetic legacy is many thousands of years old. We're actually proud of being werewolves. We're together because we're werewolves. We smelled each other a mile away and couldn't keep our paws off each other. Oh. Dear, did you really have to tell him that? Why not, love? Werewolves do it differently. He's gonna have to learn at some point. Oh my God. See you in the doghouse. Oh, babe, come on. He's 14. You're a werewolf, son. Yeah. So there you go. That was my childhood. Shortly thereafter, my father told me that my cardinal sin was affectation. That I was always going to have an extraordinary capacity for putting on a show and being fake. Affecting. Yep. And of course, why wouldn't I? Because at some deep, visceral level, some layer of my psyche, I knew that I was different and that I had to put on a show or I would be castigated. But now you know. I'm not ashamed of being a werewolf. I've spent so much time in the doghouse. How could I be? Now, I'm just searching for those who are like me. I wonder, have you spent time in the doghouse? Do you howl? I am feeling alone, and I do wonder where I can meet more werewolves. I met a werewolf once, but I don't know why I haven't met others. I met him in New York City. He was in Central Park under a bridge, like a troll. Right when I walked past him, I knew. And he knew. He could smell me. I could smell him. He was an alcoholic werewolf, so I got to smell his liquor too. Hey. Hello. Yeah, a little different. Yes. As are you. So why are you a drunk? If you know who you are, you know you can do better than this. Why are you judging me? Because I want better for you, man. I know what you are. I know what you're capable of. Do you now? You know what I'm capable of? I guess I know what you're capable of generally. Yeah. That's why it's so sad to see you down there, dirty, drunk, doing nothing with your life. Let you just stop. You know? Life is precious, man. You're wasting it. You don't know what I am capable of, you know that. You are from a very privileged background. I wasn't. So, when you're like us, but you're raised wrong, then you're capable of stuff. And then when you do that stuff, you can't look at yourself in the mirror anymore. You can't live with yourself. Okay? So, you're not able to forgive yourself for what you've done? No, I can't. I have to punish myself to atone for what I've done. Penance. If I forgive myself, then I forget. If I punish myself, I remember. And I never do that again. Well, I mean, if you're a drunken werewolf, brother, seems like you're setting yourself up for a fall there. You could lose control any time and go out there and just... I'm too drunk to go out and do anything. I'm always drunk. This is the only way to quell the rage. Why rage? Why rage? My father didn't even know he was a werewolf. So he would flip out, become extremely abusive. Rage. He would rip me practically to shreds. And my mom. And my younger brother. He almost killed my younger brother. So, what happened? When I got old enough, big enough, I killed him. He was gonna kill me and my mom and my younger brother, so I killed him. I've been living with that ever since. I feel so much rage that I actually had to do that. Ironic. You know, when I was growing up, my mother and father had this doghouse in the backyard. There was a dog there, and we'd just kick the dog out. The dog would go into the porch, and we would spend like days, sometimes even weeks out in the doghouse. And it was the proverbial doghouse. But it was to cleanse us. It was a time away so that we would just fast and take the inner journey and find out what the fuck was wrong with us. My dad would joke, but he was serious when he said he threw his wife out there, my mom, because she was such a rabid feminist. She was impossible. But then he threw himself out there because he was a tyrant about it. And they threw me out there too. Because I was so fucking fake. I was fake. I was fake because I didn't want anybody to know who I am. I wanted to hide. And that became my personality. I didn't even know what I was doing until my parents told me that I was freaking a werewolf at 14. You need a doghouse, man. You need a doghouse, brother. I need a what? Are you not listening to me? Yeah. Bro, I'm a drunk. Yeah, you're a drunk. I just need to stay here under this bridge. You're drunk. But you're not a troll. You're a fucking werewolf. You need to wear that badge with honor. Pride. I don't think I want to forgive myself. I honestly don't think so. Because after I killed my dad, I didn't stop for a decade. Humans? Yeah. I couldn't help myself. There was no stopping me. No one should have to kill their own dad. Just to protect their mom and their brother. What kind of sick, cruel joke is that? Man doesn't even know he's a werewolf. How did you figure out that you were one? I mean, I had the insatiable lust for attacking, killing, and eating human beings. Had to figure out what that was about, and myths told me, and of course I'm like, what the fuck is this? How could this possibly be true? This is mythology. But it's the only thing that made sense. And then, of course, you read more and more, and then you're like, oh my god, I matched that. So we're real. Of course, I have no idea how I can find more werewolves, at least. I don't know. I don't know what that would have done, but, you know, it would have given you understanding, it would have given you sympathy, it would have given you tribe, it would have given you family. You wouldn't have to give up on yourself and become a drunk under a bridge. I think I'm just giving up, man. Listen to me. You went on that blood rage before you knew who you were. You killed your dad out of self-defense, defending your mom and your brother. And you didn't know what you were, you didn't know what he was. You only figured out who you were after all the harm, after all the damage. You need to forgive yourself. See, this condition exacerbates, exaggerates, personality flaws, defects, whatever you want to call them. So that's what the doghouse is about. It's there so that you can separate the werewolf from the fatal flaw. Whatever it happens to be, and I suppose with you, it's just your inability to forgive yourself, to let go. I feel like if I let go, man, all that mayhem is senseless. I can't handle the type of insanity that comes with just people dying because I'm in a frenzy. I can almost forgive myself for my dad. I can't forgive myself for the people that died after that. I don't want to forgive myself. I want to hold on to that grief and that self-punishment. I want to punish myself until I die, just to atone. That's what I want to do. I don't want to heal. I want to drink myself into oblivion so I cannot hurt anyone again. And I want to punish myself until it's over. Do you understand what I mean, man? Yeah, I do. And is your mom and brother still alive? No, my mom is not. But your brother? Yeah. Were both of your parents werewolves? No. Just my dad. That's my dad. Did your mom ever figure it out? No. Why did it take so long to answer that question? Because I tried to explain it to her. Mom, I'm a werewolf. That's why I killed Dad. I said, I had to kill him because he was gonna kill you. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill Charles. Are you being serious? Do you believe me? I don't know. I believe you. I'm a werewolf. Charles is a werewolf. Dad was a werewolf. He were married to a werewolf and had kids with a werewolf. Am I a werewolf? No, you're not. How do you know that I'm not? Because I can smell it. I can smell humans, I can smell werewolves. Their scent is completely different. Plus the aggression. And the transformation. Oh, I haven't transformed and I'm not aggressive. And you smell like a human, Mom. How come I can't smell the difference? Well, you probably can, but you don't chalk it up to werewolf. You just think maybe I'm a little musky. But that musk is distinct. Well, how would you know that you were a werewolf when you were a kid? I didn't. It wasn't until much later that I figured it out. And then I told Charles, and Charles, he was a little blown away, but he immediately accepted it because it explained what he couldn't explain to himself. He was all too ready to hear that truth. Is Charles okay? I guess. I don't know. Really? We don't talk that much. But, it's not easy, Mom, being a werewolf in today's world. I always knew that you killed him to protect us. There was never a doubt in my mind. I miss him, though. Yeah, well, it's hard for me to hear that. I know. I miss the good. Yeah. There was some. There was. But it was overshadowed by the abuse. I know, but that was just him. No, it was really just his kind of unintegrated werewolf. You know, he came from a rough background. he brought a lot of trauma into his adulthood. And, you know, that's what made him a really horrifying werewolf. I guess so. Well, you wouldn't know any of this until now. And of course, I only intuited it back then. I didn't know it. I just knew something. I just couldn't put my finger on what I knew. But looking back, I knew. I just didn't have the words and didn't have the... I just didn't know what I know now. Are you okay, son? I don't think so. They tend to black out. When something disturbs me, I tend to get really reactive. I mean, if it really disturbs me, and then I black out. And sometimes I wake up with blood on my clothes. And it's not mine. And I want you to know that if anything happens to me, it's because of what I just told you. And that there's nothing that can be done. I wouldn't trust myself with any authorities or doctors or scientists. I don't know. I don't know if there are more like us. I don't know. So that's how I broke it to my mom. And after that, I just kept on having blackouts. Until one day I started putting pieces together. I set up a video camera. In my apartment. Surveillance, just let it go 24 hours and after I blacked out one time, I transformed and went out and got me somebody. Brought him back to the apartment. And the next day, I watched that video with absolute fucking horror. And then I just started kind of piecing together the days that I had blacked out and looked to see if there were any murders or anything absolutely grotesque. And yeah, I found at least 5 different episodes of someone grotesquely murdered and eaten. 5. And those were just the ones I could find, and I blacked out many more times than that. And now I just black out with alcohol. I'm done. Don't even get to the point where I feel rage. So you want to heal me? Good luck with that. You heal me, you're gonna have more problems on your hands. I don't think your little doghouse experiment can handle it. I'll tell you something, man. Thank you for sharing that with me. First, I just want to acknowledge that. I can't really imagine that, so I'm not going to pretend. I was raised in a loving environment, and my parents were both werewolves, and they both made sure that I only hunted deer, game like that, some cows. Can't imagine. But if you do, heal. If you give yourself that opportunity to heal, you'll also probably be able to heal your brother. Because if you're blacking out due to rage, due to trauma, he probably is too. And who knows what he's doing when he's blacking out. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of that rage. And I'm afraid of the cycle. If I go back and I stop drinking, and then I go and I get in touch with that rage, and then it blows up in my face, then I'm out there doing it. Now I'm more or less guaranteed that I'm just too freaking inebriated to actually hurt another human being. Well, I'm fairly confident that my parents would cooperate with me bringing you back, and they would actually help. They're really amazing werewolves. They're amazing. They've been through everything. They've really actually seriously have a doghouse in the back that's dedicated to rehabilitation. Seriously. You need family. You need tribe. One of the reasons you're out here under a frickin' bridge is because you don't have anybody else. No one understands. Well, here we are. I understand. Not what it's like to kill my father, not what it's like to kill humans. I don't. But I do understand, man, what it is to be a werewolf. My parents do. And when you heal, all your remorse and your regret, your agony, Yeah, when you heal all of that, you'll be part of our family. And then you can bring your brother into the fold. And he can go through the doghouse. I'm telling you, it's a literal doghouse. You'll howl at the fucking moon. You'll be out there. We'll feed you. But you're going to be strapped down. And you're going to have to go through all the agony of reliving everything and forgiving yourself. It's going to be like, you're detoxing from heroin or something. It's going to be the most painful time. But you will be able to live again. You'll be able to live again. You will forgive yourself. And I'm not speaking lightly when I mention your brother. He's suffering too. He has to be. You killed his dad. He's got this blood rage that he doesn't understand. I'm pretty certain, blacks out. Do you want him living in misery just because you can't forgive yourself for what you did? My werewolf parents put me in the doghouse. They're gonna put you in there too. And, I would say I'd love to hang out with you in the doghouse, but it doesn't work that way. Once you forgive yourself, you can actually work with us to help others, other werewolves. Because we know they're out there. I'm trying to find them. You're literally the first I've come across. But there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way that these werewolves are dog whistling on the internet and we just haven't found them yet. Noticed how incredible it was for us to actually sense each other immediately and know. I knew and you knew, and we could talk and communicate at a whole other level. And I had to heal myself in order to even have a conversation with you. Because my whole childhood up to early, 20s really, I was fake as fuck, man. I couldn't have a real conversation. Because I was hiding some kind of truth that I didn't understand about myself. I couldn't quite figure it out. Do you want to heal, brother? Do you want to sit there and waste the rest of your life with alcohol? Because you can't forgive yourself. And potentially waste your brother's life as well. And who knows what other werewolves are out there in such a state of despair and disrepair and can't do anything with their lives. Well, you would help heal them too. So you would turn all of this tragedy into triumph. How's that sound? I mean, think about it. Really. Why would I even be offering this to you unless I cared, unless I knew my parents would care, unless we had a doghouse for you so that you could rehabilitate? What if I can't forgive myself? We'll forgive you. And you can piggyback on our forgiveness until you learn how to do it for yourself. How could you forgive me? How you're strangers. You didn't lose anyone. I think about the parents. I think about the spouses. I think about the children of the people that I killed. Murdered. It don't deserve to be forgiven, my friend. I don't deserve that. No, you do. I beg to differ. You do deserve to be forgiven. Why? Because it was not conscious. It was not of your own volition. If you were truly a psychopath and you did all that, fully conscious and aware, yeah, there would be no forgiveness unless, of course, you had remorse and you wanted it and needed it. And you wanted and needed, and you were blacked out. You were completely unconscious and hardly aware of who you were. Not really aware until you pieced it together later on. Come to our house. I just have these rags, man. I don't even have any belongings, just what you see. I smell like shit. My clothes are fucking tattered. My shoes have holes. My underwear is a mess. My socks are crusty. I'm dirty as fuck. And my liver's shot. And I'm a drunk. So it's not simply that I'm just gonna have to fucking forgive myself. I'm gonna have to fucking get sober. You really want that? At your pristine house out in wherever. The Hamptons. We're not in the Hamptons. No, we don't do the Hamptons. Wherever you are, man. You really want this? I do. And I know my parents will want this too, and I don't even have to call them and ask them permission. I just have to say we're coming. My parents are retired now. This would be a great way for them to spend their time helping you get sober and forgive yourself. Why are you so obsessed with this, man? Why would you want to do all of this? What's in it for you? Well, I've known that I'm a werewolf since I was 14. And I had an unnatural mental fortitude, cognitive ability. And using that for human pursuits never really appealed to me. I wanted to use my giftedness to help werewolves. But finding them is the issue. And now I found one. It's a great day for me. The fact that you're an alcoholic, the fact that you murdered your father and killed others, I mean, it only says to me how important it is that you be rehabilitated. And this is the beginning of something. I know it. I am meant to find the werewolves and put them in contact with each other so they can be healthy and not destructive. And who knows, we may have something to contribute. Right? We are special. And who knows, maybe there are other creatures out there that were once deemed only mythological, only the stuff of fantasy. if there can be werewolves, what else is out there? So I want to find that too, but really the priority is rehabilitation. Once you are rehabilitated, you will be a force for good. You will literally help all these other werewolves that we find, and I know you're just the beginning. You will help them go through the journey of self-forgiveness just as you did, because of course you're not alone. I was very lucky. I used to laugh about the doghouse, the proverbial doghouse. My werewolf parents put me in the doghouse. But that's what changed the game. That's what changed the game. So, my friend, it's time. I'd say pack up your bags, but you don't got them. What we're gonna do is we're gonna buy you some clothes, some new shoes, get you some toiletries, and we're gonna head up to Vermont. I'm down in the city just having some fun, but not really. I'm down in the city to find you. That's why I'm here. I know that. And now you've helped me, actually. It makes sense that you'd be here, intoxicated under a bridge. Of course you'd do that. So now I have a clue. This is a breadcrumb. You know, me thinking that the other werewolves are going to be like me is just a projection. Most likely they're not going to be like me. They're going to be one parent's a werewolf, the other parent's not. And the parent who is a werewolf isn't going to know it. It's going to be abusive. It's going to be all sorts of trauma. Now I get it. Didn't understand that before, because I thought they might just be like me. Affluent households. Cultivated. Are you ready? You said we're gonna get some new clothes? Yeah. We're gonna get you something to eat too. What would you like? I really like Indian food. Perfect. Oh, I know just the place. Okay. So where do we go? Well, we're gonna go to my hotel. I know that sounds a little creepy, but we're gonna go to my hotel. I'll hang out in the lobby. You can just have the entire room to yourself to just take as long as you want. Take an hour-long bath. Shave. Put your hair in a ponytail. And then put on some fresh clothes and come down when you're ready. And I'll just be in the lobby. Hanging out, doing my thing. What if I black out? You think you're gonna black out while you're up in the hotel? I don't know, man. I could. Okay. So when you black out, how long do you black out for? Sometimes an hour or 2 hours, maybe 3 max. Okay. And what would cause you to black out? If I'm not drunk, it could be anything that pisses me off. Okay. So you have a short fuse. I don't know if I would say that. My dad did, but I hated that aspect of him, so I tried to work on it, but I wouldn't say I have a short fuse, but if something makes me angry, then I don't know how to stop it. So I don't get angry now because I'm drunk all the time, but when I wasn't drunk all the time, I would get angry. Not a lot, but sometimes. So I don't know. I'm scared to be in that hotel room by myself. Okay, well, let's think this through. What do you suppose we could do? Any suggestions? Well, I would say that you could handcuff me to something, but that's 3 hours of rage in a hotel in downtown Manhattan. I don't think we want to do it that way. No, we don't do it. I could just take you to our place up in Vermont. Straight shot. Leave the windows open. And then if you have a fucking freak out, you can freak out in the doghouse. Then be restrained. And the house is pretty remote, so no one's gonna be hearing you and caring. They'll think it's a dog anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would black out at the hotel, but there's no way that I could know that for sure, and I don't want to risk it. Okay, let's go to Vermont, man. Let's go to Vermont. Okay. I don't even think we should get some clothes first. I just think you should stay drunk. Just be drunk in the car. Let's not do anything different. Let's just change our location. If you stay drunk, you don't black out from rage. No. Sometimes I black out from fucking being drunk, but not from rage. Being drunk is my protection from rage. So, I'm reasonably confident that being drunk is safe. When you guys get me sober, I can't vouch for nothing. So you better tell your parents that they're biting off a lot more than they might be willing to chew, if you know what I mean, compadre. Yeah. You sure you want to do this? 1,000%. This is what I'm here to do. You are the very tip of an iceberg. The tippity tip. And I knew that. And I just need to find more. I need to find more of you and more of whatever else is out there. And I need to learn how to find it. The doghouse will be a rehabilitation center for not just werewolves, but any other creature who needs it. If there are other creatures. Which I suspect there are, because if we are depicted in mythology, chances are there are other creatures who also have their mythological representations. So let's go. Let's go. Okay, man. Alright, brother, just say your last goodbyes to this bridge. Say goodbye to being a troll and hello to being a werewolf. Hello. I'm glad you're here, son. Thank you. We're really glad. You're here with family now. We're family now. We know what happened. With your father. With all the other people. We don't hold that against you. We don't think you're horrible. And we're here to help you forgive yourself. And here to help you get sober. And it's going to be a long ride. And our son, he did the right thing. I think he told you he knew we'd be embracing you with open arms. Open arms. When we heal, we help heal others. And all of us have been on this healing journey. And that's what the proverbial doghouse is for. Healing. So you're going to go out there and you're going to howl your brains out. Are you ready to howl your brains out? It's been a while. I don't really remember what it sounds like, honestly. I just know I tend to howl when I black out. Oh, really? How do you know that? It's just what the neighbors say. Some kind of crazy howling coming from the next door neighbor. I'm like, oh, that was me. So I can howl, huh? I can howl. Yes, you can. Now you're gonna need to change. I think so, yeah. I think so, sir. And take a shower and eat. Well, we got some takeout Indian. Drive-through Indian when we got out of the city. Okay. Good. Good. Tell us some of your thoughts about what you're going to undergo here. I know you're feeling a little anxious about it. I'm feeling a lot anxious about it, sir, ma'am. I mean, I'm kind of sober now. Sobered up on the trip. So anytime I get sober, I just... I don't know what's gonna happen. And then I just start to shake with fear that I'll do something. And then I have all this withdrawal symptoms, and I start shaking from those. And I just want to put an end to it all and get drunk again. Do you know why the doghouse works? Did my son tell you? works. No, he didn't tell me. It works because it's very simple. We strap you down. We do feed you. Water too. And of course this house is remote. And what you may not understand is that even though you're out there and secluded and strapped down, we love you. And we do. We loved each other when my wife was out there howling with all her feminist propaganda. I loved her. I was here in the kitchen laughing. I know that's horrible to say, but I was like, that ideology's gotta go. And she howled it right out of her. And then when I was out there, I'm sure she had a good laugh too. Kissed that tyrant goodbye. See, it works because you know we're near. It wouldn't work if you were 5 miles away, because then you would feel abandoned and desolate. And so you couldn't heal because you wouldn't know that you're loved. You'd feel that it was totally hopeless by yourself. But here, we're only 50 feet away. 50, 60 feet away. You know that we're completely tuned into you the whole time. Maybe not all of us at the same time, of course. But someone is. Either me, my wife, my son. We'll all be dialed into at some point. And actually, Dad, I am going to stay here just to help make sure this is a smooth transition, and I'm going to pivot with my research. I've come to understand that I may be looking at things the wrong way, and I could do more on the internet now that we had a conversation under the bridge. When you've healed, you're gonna help me. You're gonna be the first on my team. So you have that to look forward to, You guys make it sound so exciting. Sign me up. I'll take that shower first. Get you some clothes. When do you want to start? Guys, I have to start now. I don't think you understand. Now that I'm sobering up, I have to start. You have to put me out there. You have to strap me down. Because I don't want to be in your house when I'm sober. I just got here. I don't want you to kick me out. We're not going to kick you out. We're not afraid of you. Well, I mean, I know you're all werewolves, but do you really want to deal with a blood rage werewolf? Do you? Because you may be powerful, but you don't want to go. Even all three of you, you don't want that. I don't want that. Besides, your son told me you guys never really experienced the blood rage before. My son hasn't, and my wife hasn't, but I have. Is that part of the tyrant thing? Yes. Before I heal the tyrannical aspect of myself. Yeah. So you see, I kind of get it. let's get you out there then. Strap you down. And, actually, you might find this amusing, but I'm going to spray you down with a hose just to give you a little topical cleaning. You stink. And that's not the werewolf. Yeah, it's funny that you should say that, because now that I'm sober, I can actually feel the sting. I'm being told that I stink. Simple solution. Just spray you down. Have one of those spray guns and just spray off the dirt in little lines, go back and forth. Nah. You're too old to be making jokes like that. Well, I don't think so. Werewolves. We're a mischievous lot, aren't we? Go out there. I'm gonna spray you down. Thank you, sir. Ma'am. I've never received such kindness before. Thank you. You're gonna learn how to be this kind to yourself. We don't hold anything against you. For us, there's nothing to forgive. Because again, you did what you had to do to save your mom and your brother. And what you did when you were blacked out, you're not responsible for. I know you think you are, but you're not. You are a different individual, different entity. It's like you were possessed. And I do know what that feels like, son. So go out there. Heal. Forgive. Detox. It's all waiting for you. It's all out there. I don't know if I can make this journey. I just imagine the children. And the parents I killed. I can't get these images of children just crying, not understanding where their parents went. How can I forgive myself for that? It seems selfish. The only way to balance it is to punish myself. And that still does not balance it. Nothing can balance it. And then I just can't escape. There's no escape. Blood everywhere. My father. And my father suffered. He probably grew up under a werewolf who abused him too. That's how it works. And I put an end to the generational curse. But cursed myself to do it. I don't know how I'm gonna forgive myself. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what forgiveness is. I need help forgiving myself. I don't know if there's a God in the world full of evil. I don't know if there's a God if werewolves exist. I don't know if there's a God if sons murder their fathers and werewolves eat the parents of innocent children. And if there isn't a God, then there's no forgiveness, is there? Forgiveness of humans, of werewolves. What does it matter? If I can't forgive myself, then that doesn't matter. And if I'm not forgiven by God because there is no God, then there's no forgiveness. And how could there be a God if this stuff is happening? So the only way to deal with it is just to obliterate myself. What is forgiveness? What is it? I don't even know what it is. Does it mean the pain goes away? Does it mean I forget? I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget anything. werewolf in the doghouse. I don't know what forgiveness is, but that's the thing that I've got to learn. That's the thing. That's my thing. Can't leave this doghouse until I learn to forgive myself. And I can't forgive myself until I know what it is. And when I find out what it is, will God forgive me if God doesn't exist? How will I know? Maybe God is forgiveness. Maybe that forgiveness comes first, and then I can know. How do I forgive myself? They've forgiven me, but they weren't there. It's easy for them. How can I forgive myself if I was there and I didn't? What is forgiveness? Does it mean it's okay? It's not. Those children are going to be without parents. I feel like casting myself down into the pit of hell when I think about that. How can I live? How can I live? Forgiveness is living and feeling. I can't forgive myself if I keep getting drunk, because then I'm not feeling the pain of what I've done, and the regret, and the remorse, the agony, the torture. Forgiveness is feeling all of it. Feeling is how I forgive myself. my alcohol was preventing forgiveness. And I'm just feeling it. No more alcohol. Feeling it. So that I burn. So much pain that I burn. I just burn away the person who did that. Well, I can only burn that person away. I'm feeling the pain. It's pain. Pain that will not go away. I want to find the family members of everyone I affected. I want to apologize to them. And do what I can. I want to ask their forgiveness. I need your help, God. I need your help. Help me forgive myself. Help me feel the pain. So that I don't have to run. Help me. I know you made me for a purpose. No, I'm here to serve a purpose. I cannot serve that purpose until I forgive myself. I want to. I will stay in this doghouse as long as I need to stay in this doghouse. I will stay here until I remember what I did. Every single time that I blacked out, and I will ask forgiveness. From you, from the victims, from myself.